Our distance learning alumni interview series will help us wrap up our own distance learning and how band involvement has impacted these people's lives during and since high school. I will let our next person introduce ourselves. So, what's your name? When did you graduate, and what are you doing now?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ben Whalen. I'm a trombone player. Graduated from Germantown in 2009. Now I'm living in Richfield, Minnesota. I work at a church doing youth ministry and our community partnerships in our neighborhood. And also I'm on the city council here.
Awesome. So, what are a couple of your favorite memories from high school band?
Yeah, I think probably the thing I think most about is just the downtime, especially like during pep band or on the Wall of Sound band buses or things, but just time with friends, the silly inside jokes we had, the I don't know, just the things we did. And then the other memory that sticks out is I still vividly remember the moment right after the last note of the state marching band competition of my senior year, just kind of feeling like that was the summation of all the work I'd put in over 4 years and just being really proud of everything we'd done.
So after high school, where did you go to college? What'd you study?
I went to Gustavus Adolphus College, which is a smaller college in Minnesota, and I studied, I doubled in music and religion.
And what did you benefit from the smaller school?
Yeah, I really liked the smaller school, that your class sizes, I don't think I was ever in a class of more than like the size class I'd see in high school. My professors, I got to know them personally, that even the campus itself and the student body, it was large enough that I didn't know everyone, but you could still you didn't feel lost in the middle of campus. And yeah, so I really appreciated the smaller class sizes. Things felt a little more personal and a little more community oriented.
So you obviously were heavily involved in music while in college. What were some of the things there that you did, some of your other memories from college music days?
Yeah, so I ended up, my primary was still band, but I did a little bit with choir. I joined orchestra my last 2 years. I did jazz band for a year, was in a brass quintet. Really decided to kind of go all in. I think it was my junior year. I was playing trombone about 5 hours a day, which was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. But some of my best memories, I think, were the college bands did tours, which were somewhat similar to what we did in high school band, but we would play. We'd have a concert ready and we'd play that in 5 or more different cities over the course of a week. And even if it was many years it was just around the Midwest. But I got to go to Eastern Europe with the band. And some of our concerts were in cathedrals. And then with the orchestra, I got to go to South Africa and played in a marketplace, an outdoor marketplace in Cape Town. And so just getting to go all these different places was really amazing. Trying to make the music is kind of the universal language, and that seeing people who in some cases didn't speak any English, and we couldn't communicate with them much at all, but they just really connected with our music and were so appreciative. So that's really awesome. And then of course, in college too, just making really close friends. Some of my band friends are still some of my best friends today.
Are you still playing? You still doing anything with music?
A little bit, not as much as I'd like to, but I play at church now and then. Our church organist gets a brass group together, and so I play with them when I can, and then I'm in a brass quintet with some band friends too, and we play maybe 4 or 5 gigs a year.
So how would you say your music playing in high school and college helped you long term to get you where you are now in your life and career?
Yeah, I think I was thinking about this, and I don't have like super tangible things, but a couple of things that stood out were, one, just it's really reinforced that saying of like, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, and it's kind of given me a sense of humility. And I think specifically like something like tuning in middle school, you know, you think that, oh, if I have my tuning slide in the right place, everything I play will be in tune. And then in high school, you realize like, okay, no, like every note, like my slide might have to be in a different place. And then in college, started realizing like, oh, actually, like how much air I'm blowing and my embouchure and like what key we're in, like all these things matter too. And so I think it's just helped me realize that like you can always be better. Like there's always room to improve, which as a bit of a perfectionist is sort of terrifying, but also sort of freeing, that yeah, that it's okay. Like you don't have to be perfect because you never can. And so I think that's something for sure that I've learned from my time in band. And then the bigger one, I think, is just how much we depend on each other, and how, like, I remember the very first day of college band rehearsal when I was thinking like, does our director even know us yet? That he looked out over the band and saw one empty chair, knew exactly by name who that person was, and was like, oh, so-and-so, like, they didn't tell me they weren't going to be here. Can someone give them a call? See if they can be here. We need their part. And just realizing how much we depend on every individual player to be there, to play their part and play it well, that we can only be good as a whole if everyone is bringing their full selves and talents to the table. And I think, I mean, as I've gotten involved in politics here, one of the favorite Minnesotan political phrases was we all do better when we all do better. And I think that's just so true. And band has helped me realize that I don't know, all of the garbage we hear about like rugged individualism and like be independent and don't rely on anyone else, that's just not true. That if we want to create something beautiful, we can only do that together.
Awesome. So what is a reaction you get from someone you meet now when they find out your trombone playing history?
I don't know. Most people are just kind of surprised. It's not something I'm like that kind of occupies a different world from what most of what I'm doing. But usually I get like some, I don't know, some surprise and sometimes like bad impressions of like sad trombone.
Great. Are you still in touch with any of your high school classmate band members?
Not so much. Unfortunately, I reached out. When I moved recently, I found all my old yearbooks, and so I reached out to a couple people then just to say hello. But yeah, when I moved to Minnesota, I kind of lost touch with a lot of people, unfortunately.
And last question. What are you listening to these days during the quarantine to help keep you calm and in good spirits?
Yeah, the calming nature actually. I dug out, not dug out. I remembered a trick from college studying days. One of my friends told me, if you play simultaneously something sort of mellow, like a acoustic album or like Bon Iver or Explosions in the Sky, something that's sort of calming, and then play it simultaneously with thunderstorm sound effects, you get this cool effect, and I don't know, it helps me stay calm. So
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time and your answers today in the interview series, and wish you to stay safe.
Well,